People come into our lives for a reason. You may not know the reason why. They may not know the reason why, but there has to be a reason. Let me tell you about one individual that came into our life and has made a major impact on us. I want to introduce you to Terry Johnson. Our journey with Terry Johnson actually started with our oldest son, Jaron. He took an interest in cattle when he was about 10 years old. My wife, Sabrina, and I decided to give Jaron a couple of young heifers for Christmas to start his own herd. We knew nothing about managing cattle, but Sabrina had grown up with Terry Johnson and his family since she was a little girl. Terry had a reputation of knowing a lot about cattle and livestock dogs, so we reached out to him for advice. Little did we know that simple phone call would reshape our lives to where we are today. Jaron spent so much of his time working with Terry and helping him work with cattle and livestock dogs. Fast forward several years and many cows later, Terry and I were talking about grazing cattle on some of our farm ground that we could not plant with crops, but had an abundance of forage. That's when he started teaching me how to move cattle with dogs and graze them with no fencing. What I love about Terry is you could ask him any question and he never made you feel dumb. Quite the opposite. He actually had lots of patience. He gave you the confidence that made you feel you could be almost as good as he was. Terry and I spent hours in the field as I would listen to his stories about his childhood growing up in Iowa and Missouri and Arizona, working with cattle, and with his special breed of livestock dogs, the French Briard. They may not look like your typical livestock dog, but let me tell you, these dogs are highly intelligent, have an amazing instinct and natural ability. They understand boundaries, invisible boundaries, and their coat serves as a protection for them. They have a calm disposition, but let me tell you, when it's time to work, they know how to turn it on. I don't believe there's such thing as coincidence. Terry had no plans on breeding his dogs, but as fate would have it, one of his dogs got pregnant and had 3 puppies. On April 8th, 2023, Terry gave me my first cattle dog. He said, "Take it home and obedience train it." So that's what I did. And then after about 6 months, we started turning my little dog into a cattle dog. He was a fast learner. He had a real chill disposition about him, but again, when it was time to work, he would turn it on. Just a quick history lesson about the Briards. The French Briards date back as far as the 8th century. They were utilized as sheepdogs in France, herding and guarding livestock, and they were also great companions. The French military even used them as rescue dogs, carrying supplies to the front lines and other tasks. Thomas Jefferson was the first person to bring Briards to the United States of America. He had spent some time over in France and was impressed with how the French were using them and their versatility. And before returning to the United States of America, he acquired a couple of Briards. Terry learned about Briards during his years working and living in Missouri, and ever since then he always had the breed as part of his tools for managing livestock. So Terry's line of Briards carry the original genetics from France. They have that amazing instinct. The no-fence grazing system that Terry taught me basically works like this. You have a home-based corral where you keep the cattle or livestock during the night. Then, in the morning, you take them from home base and put them out to wherever you want them to graze. And then when they're done grazing, you put them back at home base. It's amazing you can actually work a sizable herd with this system and these dogs. These dogs work well as you walk with your cattle or ride an ATV or horse to get around. Sadly, in April of 2024, Terry had a tragic accident doing what he loved. But it is our goal to keep the art of herding livestock Terry's way and utilizing these special dogs. It is our mission and goal to keep Terry's art of herding livestock and utilizing these special dogs. Though Terry's not physically with us anymore, he is very much alive and with us every day as we implement what he taught us and carry on his legacy. We are keeping Terry's legacy alive, managing the livestock and maintaining Terry's bloodlines. Here's Sabrina leading 60 head of cattle and 20 head of sheep to a grazing area in the middle of a harvested cotton field. Look at how organized and calm everybody is. Because we move the livestock every day, they get into a routine and they get used to this system. They know that they're going to be given fresh food every single day, which of course motivates them. Typically, our grazing paddocks are 8 acres with hot wire around them. Here's a demonstration of my dog Buddy, who's almost 2 years old, and how with one command, he rounds up the cattle and brings them to the gate so that we can move them back to their home base. The companion dog in this video is an older male who's mostly retired, but we still take him out to work the best he can. The dogs receive one single command and then they go to work. Their natural ability kicks in and they start herding the cattle together. Here, Buddy's making a couple of trips back to get the stragglers and bring them back in with the rest of the herd. Once he has the herd all together, then he stands watch and makes sure that everybody stays in a tight group. We're blessed to be part of this magnificent work with these amazing dogs and being a part of nature. We're grateful for those that have come into our lives, who have helped us and taught us the art of working with these animals. May we continue on, and may God look down upon us and help us continue with this beautiful work.